then you can make your design decisions. Anybody see this board? Ah. I'll keep moving this back and forth, I guess. So just identifying what's there is half the trick. Okay, so this thing right here, if we have trees, just kind of mark him out, and you are going to have to do this for your CAD class as well. So you might as well know what you're going to be drawing. Because right now these are just circle symbols on the paper that, you know, that could be anything that might be nothing. But once we identify the site, then we may be or may not be able to use such objects on the site. So what I'm doing is identifying the trees. Okay, and we also established that these are rocks here, right? So what does that give us? If we're approaching a site, and it goes back to this one as well, when we're approaching a site, you have these lines of trees along the side of the road as well. So this road here continues all the way through, and there's trees on either side. That creates a very formal procession to the site, especially because these look a little bit more natural, and these guys drawn down here is like boom, 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 right? So you have this cadence, you have this rhythm as you're walking up. And then, so it could be a story, it could be a narrative, it could be saying that you're going from a man-made village to a, from developed area to a parking lot, get off onto a trail that you hike up with trees that were obviously planted, because no forest grows like that, right? And then when you come up, that's when you're kind of surrounded in nature, which is where your gallery is supposed to be now located. But when we see this, we could start to create an axial arrangement to this thing. So I'll use a red. So with this path here from the village, you do have a axis to the straight road, right? So we've got the road down here that goes all the way to the village, all the way down from the parking lot. If you just trek up straight, it bisects your site in half. You all see that? Okay. So now we have the right side of the site. We have the left side of the site. We could start to make decisions on, well, the first part is what?
The design of the approach from distance here?
Well, where it says design process, program function, what is number 1?
Considering how it looks from as you approach it?
Uh-huh. But more general than that.
It's all like the visitor view.
Yes. So while you come up this site, while you're hiking up, do you see the building or do you not see the building? Okay. So the axis of the site that we just drew, and you guys should be drawing that on your scrap that paper, will determine. Borrow your box. That's your axis. So if your building is right smack in the middle, you'll pretty much see it from down the hill, I'm sure. If it's a little further back, maybe less forward, maybe more. Okay? So your first decision is to straddle on frontal approach, getting it towards this side so that none of the trees are blocking the view of the building, or actually putting it on this side of the axis line and hiding it behind a tree. Okay, so with these visual obstacles there, you're either going to hide, you could try to hide your building. So that's decision one that you have to make. Once you establish the axis, well, the first axis, the approach axis, you decide where you want to put this thing on your site. Visible or non-visible. And then we'll go over here and go, check. Okay?
Will the trees affect the solar?
It does. This is the fault of this prompt, is that, yeah, if you put the building there, the sun's not going to get there.
Right.
We'll just say that sun gets there.
Okay.
Maybe there's a perfect shaft between the branches.
Professor, I know that we can remove one of
just
the trees
hero.
if we want to, right?
Pardon?
We
Pardon?
can remove one of the trees if we want to.
No trees can be touched.
Because that's what we did in that CAD.
Okay,
So I was like,
then no trees. Oh, Jeff's class.
yeah.
Jeff
For-
probably
for
did
the
that
solar.
so that you can get that solar angle.
Yeah.
That's a solution, I guess. Okay, but we're trying to leave all the trees. That's a pretty good idea. No, really. We all learn from each other. Each of the instructors learn from each other, and we all have our different takes on things, and that's what usually happens. One guy says, "Hey, how about this?" Goes, "Oh, we never thought of that before." Okay, so we'll leave that on the table for now. Okay, but the main issue right now is to get it visible or not visible. Okay, you're going to have to decide for your own site which to do. And then so that's what we're talking about when, hey, Google the building and you know it's there, you're anticipating its approach and such, right? So this thing right here, if it is there, it's all visible. You know while you're approaching that you're coming up to it. If you hide it, then you're building a sense of anticipation. Oh, it's around the corner somewhere, kind of thing. And that's also a good way to design your site as well. Okay, so there is another, where's that part? Oh, sunset porch, no. Okay, there's that other part that, yes, first decision is to make it visible or not visible, but when you actually climb up the steps or climb up the hill, where are you going to wind up being? Which means that, how are you going to approach the site? You do have three choices. You can go over here. Choice one is to come straight up this road. Ignore this thing, straight up this road, make a little step up here, and now that might be, the Acropolis kind of thing. Choice two is that you have a break in the wall here, which means that you might, let's say there's no way getting up here, but you come up, you see the building, So, but there's no way up here, so you have to follow the path, and then as soon as there's a break in the wall, you can approach the building. Okay? Choice 3 is that you could take the long way around, and maybe if your building is hidden away, you should be able to come around and at a certain point kind of straighten off.
These are drivable paths or just walkable paths?
Walkable path.
Oh.
So 3, you have where these rock ends. So now you've got an entranceway right here. Usually you want to keep a fairly straight, for this project you want to keep a fairly straight approach to the building. Okay? So if you do this, it's going to tell you something that you have to do with your volumetric abstraction that represents your building entrance. If you do this and you're approaching through, let's say, choice 1, where might your volumetric abstraction be? Should be, we have to put it on the east side, right? And so it has to be on the east side, not exactly on the south side. If it is on the south side, it has to at least straddle the east side. So if you put this here and your approach is here, it is possible for you to put the building so that you can see it. Then you kind of put stairs up here to get up on this corner and get onto the 3-foot level.
So it'd be solid on this side and you come around the corner to the steps, or are the steps gonna break on that corner?
It could, well, that's another choice. It could be this approach, just the stairs are going to come straight up into here. And then you're on the porch and then you get into it. Or you could come around, if you know where the entrance is, you might come around on this side. Choice 2 is that you have this, the break, so maybe in that case, you can put it here or you can put it on this side, the northeast side or southeast side. So where you're coming up the step is pretty much an option to open to you. So that's a decision that you have to make depending on where your approach is for your volumetric abstraction of this project. If you put it hidden away and you're using this third approach, you know that you're coming across at a diagonal angle to the building. Okay, so perhaps the entrance point should be at this northeast corner and don't make the person go all the way around to the southeast corner. Okay, and you did notice that there is a north arrow, right? And the north arrow does not line up exactly straight. The way I put it right here is wrong. Do that and Iggy will get pissed. Don't do that. Why do we not want to do this?